So you want to know what it's like to drive a Mustang GT. I don't blame you. For the amount that these things cost, they offer quite the experience. But is it as good as people actually claim, especially the amount of people that buy Mustang GTs? I'm here to explain to you why that is. And first of all, I had to get the convertible because I think that's going to add a lot to the driving experience. These wheels, pretty basic, not gonna lie, but they do fit the silver color. Other than that though, I think the design of these cars are pretty beautiful. I owned a 2016 Mustang EcoBoost for several years, tuned up and everything, and the 5.0, I'm not gonna lie, brings it to a much better level. And come on, a V8 just belongs in a Mustang. But I've always liked the look of Mustangs, especially 5.0s, because they have a few features that differentiate it from an EcoBoost. For example, the little towers, if you will, if that's what you want to call them, on the front grille. This one actually has heat extractors on the hood, which are very functional. A lot of heat coming out of those. And the 5.0 badge, infamous right there. I always look for those when a Mustang passes me, of course. And you're also going to have the GT badge right on the back. Now, when you hop in your S550 Mustang GT, this is the premium version of it. So that means the seats are going to be much higher quality, very, very nice leather. My EcoBoost was a base model, and the premium actually is worth it, I would say. Back seats, by the way, you're not going to have a whole lot of room. Thankfully, with the convertible, it's going to be more comfortable for the backseat passengers because their heads won't be hitting the roof, which happens in all Mustangs that are hardtops with backseat passengers that are over, 5'8". So that is a complaint. Mustang, right on the door sill, that is going to light up, and when you hop in here, well, I like the seating position here. You're going to have a massive infotainment screen, again, thanks to this being a premium. Heated and cooled seats, thanks to this being a premium, it makes it really a lot nicer. Traction, steering, and then your drive mode. So without further ado, let's see how this thing drives. All right, let's go and start this video off with a hard pull. We got some back roads here, so we're going to have some fun. This thing actually does move, despite it being stock and weighing, 3,900 pounds. 420 horsepower in just about anything will make the thing move. And this thing is no slouch. Now, first thing I have to address is the stereotype that Mustang GTs live up to, which is just crashing into trees, crashing into crowds. The reason these cars had that reputation is so many people get this as their first sports car. They go from a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla straight into a Mustang GT. And like right here, an inexperienced driver, they could have been going, 80, 90 miles an hour, and you just go straight into a car, or you go straight off of the road. You need to know how to drive a car that has some speed before you hop in it and just full send it. My best recommendation would probably be to drive a Mustang EcoBoost for a little bit before you get yourself into the GT, because even the EcoBoost is pretty fast. Comparing the EcoBoost to the GT is going to be a whole separate video, but while we're on that point, let's go ahead and do a 0 to 60 test and see what the Mustang GT can get. All right, ready? Let's do it. We'll brake boost it a little bit as well. .2, you guys heard me spin out there. Let's slow down and try that one more time. All right, this time let's do no brake boost. I believe the car is going to be able to handle that a little bit better. Ready, set, go. 5.1, only 0.1 second off. This thing does have a little bit of trouble getting off the line. So right down here, you have the mode selector, which is very cool. Let's go ahead and throw it into Sport Plus mode, and let's try a 0 to 60 test one last time here. See what we can get. This one's a little bit of an uphill, but let's see. 5.2 again, it's consistently running that. It is very, very hard to avoid wheel spin. My Mustang EcoBoost has gotten 5.1, 5.2. It is tuned up to make around 350, 360 horsepower, and it weighs less. But This thing definitely feels more powerful than the Mustang EcoBoost, especially if you drive a stock EcoBoost, I can tell you that for sure. Stock EcoBoost is gonna run around 5.5, 5.6 if you get a good start off of the line. Let's test the cornering on this one. Feel the car's weight, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest, you're gonna be a little bit suspicious on you know, full throttle sending it into a corner. This isn't really a track car, it's a grand touring car. And so having this roof down and hearing that V8, although it's really not, that V8 isn't as present as you would like it to be on the 15 to 17 models, you really have to add an aftermarket exhaust. Which is one of the downfalls of the 15 to 17s. If you're gonna get a 15 to 17, get an aftermarket exhaust. If you're gonna get a Mustang GT, but you just wanna leave it stock, I would highly recommend going with the 2018 and up, because not only do you get the 10-speed automatic, but it's gonna sound a lot better stock. All right, now let's go ahead and throw this thing into track mode, and that's, you know, it's gonna turn off the traction control, which makes it a little bit more suspicious. But like I said, this car isn't as bad as people think. This thing isn't gonna just fly into a tree, doesn't autopilot itself off of the road. You have to have a pretty bad driver behind the wheel of one of these to be that out of control for this thing. Now track mode, traction control off, and also it's gonna be a lot more aggressive with the transmission. So it's gonna hold the RPMs a lot higher, and it's going to feel a lot more responsive. It really, you know, it makes it harder to contain yourself in this thing. It makes you really want to just stomp on it. And when you do, well, drops right to the lowest gear. And okay, some cars are really good at hiding the weight on cornering. The convertible is a bit heavier than the hardtop Mustang GT. You do feel the weight of this thing, but it does not mean you can't have fun. This thing really is such a great GT car or grand touring car because of how incredibly smooth this thing is. The gear shifts are so smooth. The acceleration is so smooth. When you're going 100 miles an hour, I mean, you kind of feel like you're going 45, which adds to the fact that you could easily get yourself into a lot of trouble with this car. I mean, it is just such a smooth canyon runner. Definitely want to tap on those brakes before this turn here. I mean, it handles that really well. It is pretty crazy how easy it is to just jump in this thing and floor it and have a lot of fun. Not to mention the price tag on these. If you want a convertibles are generally going to be a little bit less expensive, but convertible or hardtop, if you're looking at the 15 to 17 models, the price tag is going to be around $25,000 to $28,000, which is not bad. It's going to have, you know, 40 to 60,000 miles on it, but that is why these things are crashed so often, because it's too easy to buy one. They're cheap, relatively speaking, to what most sports cars are, especially with the amount of power that you get in this. And to talk about power for a second, this is one of the easiest motors to just go full bolt-on E85 and add yourself an extra 100, 150 horsepower. That's what's so awesome about the 5.0s. Also, if you want to keep this car stock, because this engine is, you know it has all that potential, keeping it stock means you can really romp on it, and you're not going to be running into any issues. So if you want to leave it stock, you're going to have yourself a very reliable 420 horsepower muscle car that you can actually use. I own a Maserati Gran Turismo, and I use that thing, trust me, but I'd feel a lot more comfortable romping on it in this than romping on it in a Maserati. Because this thing is just built for that, and also, if anything were to break, it's still a mass-produced American muscle car. Parts cost and labor is not going to be that bad. The gear shifts in this thing do happen pretty quick too. The 6-speed automatic that's put in Mustangs from 15 to 17, they are bulletproof and ready for more power as well. I abused my 2016 Mustang EcoBoost and 0 transmission problems for 75,000 miles. The motor ended up going, but it is an EcoBoost. We're talking about the 5.0 here, not the 2.3. 5.0 is a lot more durable. And the thing sings, especially with that top down. I will say, you hear a lot more of the actual motor itself in the 15 to 17 models than you do the exhaust note. Yeah, that looks like fun too. But man, a Saturday, Sunday top-down cruise in the Mustang GT is an underrated experience. But aside from how much of a thrill this thing is to drive, it's also so incredibly comfortable and so practical. You have so much space. I mean, if you do have backseat passengers, they are not going to be that comfortable, but you do have back seats if you need them. Probably going to be best for storage. You have a massive trunk as well, and just a very comfortable ride that you can turn into a fun backroad cruiser at just the push of your foot. So if you're going to be getting a Mustang GT and it's going to be your daily driver and your only vehicle, it's not going to be hard to have the best of both worlds in this car. But look, I want to give this thing an honest cornering ability review. So we are on the absolute perfect road for this, and let's actually push it. I'm going to put the steering in sport mode. We will leave it in track mode as well, and let's see what this thing can do and how far it can be pushed. Big turn right here. Yep, that's about its limits. You can hear the tires giving out right there. But honestly, I mean, cornering wise, I'd give this like a 6.5. I know that may sound really low, but I'd say anything over a 5 actually allows you to have fun in the corners. Of course, I reserve the 8, 9s, and 10s for cars that are literally built for the track, like some of the ones that we've driven. The GT350 was substantially better than this in the corners, and again, having the convertible, that's going to add to the weight of the car, which doesn't help in the corners. But yeah, I don't think you can't have fun on back roads when a sharp turn comes up. You just have to make sure you're not, you know, completely inexperienced and you have common sense with what to do when you're coming up on a turn. This is not that bad. So all in all, guys, for 25 to 30 grand, 30 grand if you get a really nice used one between the year 2015 and 2017, I mean, you're getting a lot. A very nice car, a very reliable car, a very fast car, a car that can absolutely handle the corners. Again, 15 to 17 though, I would just expect to dole out about 1,000 to 3,000 more and getting a nice aftermarket exhaust, unless you can tolerate the sound that this thing makes. But driving past people on the highway, I did a poll past my brother and he said he could not even hear the exhaust, and I was flooring it. So he did have his window up, but you know, you don't expect that from a Mustang GT, which is really my only complaint with this car. Other than that though, I mean, for the price, this is a phenomenal car to work with. So let me know what you guys think. If you do own one, feel free to drop your own opinion in the comments below. Other than that though, appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.